Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Jesse, this is my garage, and today we're talking 240SX and how you can spend $1,400 on yours. Now I know every 240SX needs interior. It's just a fact. It's a known fact. Google search it. 240SX needs interior. I'm gonna show you can spend $1,400 on yours and at least get it looking presentable. So in our G Prisma, two of those seats, $360 a piece. Plus we need some rails for that thing. Those rails are about $200 a piece. It's about $400. So if we go with two seats, with two sets of rails, it's about $1,120 for that whole setup. Now that's gonna go a long ways and it's gonna be looking really stylish. There's all kinds of cool colors to choose from. Now we still have a little bit of money left and I am going to choose to go with ISR single exit exhaust out the back. It's just the rear section. It's just a muffler, looks shiny, and definitely help you out, give you the nice sound. That's really gonna help you tune your sound. It's probably gonna round out our $1,400 very nicely. Now, of course, if you already have an exhaust, you wanna strictly focus on the interior, throw an aftermarket steering wheel in there. And of course, the cool thing about an aftermarket steering wheel is there's all kinds of options. So not only do you get to customize it with your seats, now we get to customize it with our steering wheel. You can either have a match, whatever you wanna do. The sky is the limit. All right, well, maybe you don't wanna work on the interior. Maybe you want to do some suspension work. And that is what the 240 is totally known for, as its handling and suspension. And we can go ahead and upgrade that right here with a $1,400 budget and make it go a little bit further. We can throw some coilovers on there. We can go with like an ISR coilover, run you about $800 or so, and then, or we can go with a BC coilover, run you about $900 to $1,000. Once we have our coilovers, if we want to continue with the suspension tuning, I would highly suggest, of course, the BCs and the ISRs are going to have the adjustable camber plates in the top, but for the rear, we can throw some upper control arms back there and let us adjust our camber accordingly. That way you can fit your big old wheels on the car, have some camber, or get them straight so you can put the power to the ground. All right, so with our coilovers and our camber kit, our upper control arm in the rear, maybe even our tow arm in the rear, that'll help us adjust our rear tires. It's gonna round out our $1,400 pretty nicely right there. All right, well, maybe you have an SR20 under the hood, or yeah, even if you have a boosted KA24DE, or even if you wanna get crazy on your single jingle KA24E, I've got a turbo set up for you to make more power. The ISR RS3871 Turbo. Now this thing rings in at $580 and is rated for 380 horsepower. Now, 380 horsepower on your stock internals is going to be enough. You're not gonna have to worry about more than that unless you start reinforcing the bottom end. So I like this turbo for that. I'm probably gonna put it on this car right behind me. I've been eyeing it for a while and I absolutely love the price tag. It's similar to the Garrett GT2871R, which I had originally had in mind. But you know, I'm always coming through different parts and pieces. Parts catalogs came across this ISR turbo, claimed to be very similar, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this a chance because it's gonna make my money go a little bit further. And it's a nice mid-grade turbo because it's not necessarily the cheapest turbo you can find on eBay that you're gonna pray and hope that it stays together and doesn't come apart and you eat a bearing. And it's not the most expensive turbo because this is just a mild mannered street car. We want to be able to put down the boost sometimes and do what we need to do when we want to do it. So I like this option for that. So with our $1,400, we're going to go ahead and pick up one of those turbos and some ISR fuel injectors. Now they're going to run you about $360, and you can either go with like a 550 application or a 750 application, depending on what kind of fuel you're running and what your tune's going to look like. Now, speaking of that, we don't want to throw bigger turbos on our car and more fuel without having a tune. So we're going to round out our $1,400 with an RS Empathy tune. Now these guys have been around forever. They've been working on SR20s forever. They've been working on Nissans forever. And we can get our ECU flash tuned to the specs that we want with the parts that are on our car for about $400. I think that's gonna round everything out nicely. And of course, these are just ideas. You can continue to get crazy with it if you wanted to. If you already had injectors or already had a turbo, maybe you wanted a manifold or do a different aftermarket ECU management system. But that's why I think I would spend $1,400 on to get more power, like a lot more power out of my car extremely efficiently. All right, well, on our 240, we've talked about interior, we've talked about suspension, we've talked about power. Now I want to talk about some wheels and tire combination. I've just picked a couple that I found that I thought were pretty cool. I'm gonna ring around that $1,400 mark. So everybody has their own opinion and choice on wheels, and that's absolutely fine. Awesome, yes, it's customizable, and it really depends on the style and choice you want to put on there. But here's a couple that I found that were $1,400 that I thought would kind of be appealing. Let's check them out. So the first are MST wheels, 18 by 9.5 on a 225 40 tire. They look pretty good. This wheel and tire combo setup is about $1,208 from Fitment Industry. Now you can't be mad at that price. You're still gonna have some money left over. Also, another set of wheels I found were the XXR 555s, 17 by 8. And these are on a 215, 17 by 8 on a 215 45 tire and wheel setup. I thought these ones look pretty cool, and these are like a bargain. This is like $957 for this setup. You still have another $500, and you still have another $400 to play with. Go get yourself some aftermarket control arms and make sure all your fitment is perfect. All right, well, of course, this list is just for fun to give you a few ideas on a few different areas and how far your money could go on your 240 SX. I'm sure everybody knows that they love to spend money on their 240, on the S chassis in general. Well, if you got any value out of that, hit this like button. If you got any entertainment out of this, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos about me talking about 240 SXs, 350Zs, 300ZXs, and who knows what else, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every one of the views. Follow me on Instagram at Build Theory. If you want to support the garage, head over to Patreon at Jesse's Garage and kick down some support. But until then, I will see you next time.